Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the third quarter of 2022. We're just going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. And that'll be that. You have this Bobcat spirit. It says life is a mystery. And then you have this lost in space card at the end, which says needing direction. And it's interesting to me that the word direction has come up for, like, just a bunch of people, honestly. So I wouldn't say that I feel people are necessarily feeling lost, but I do feel that, what I would say, well, number one, your reading is actually very positive, even with that. I think the problem is that the things that we used to do to be successful probably aren't working as well as they used to. So it's like the universe is asking us to learn new tricks, right? It's like the same old tricks aren't working. So it's like maybe there are certain things that you used to be able to do in love that would attract a person to you. It's like not working as well. Same thing in business. Maybe there are things you're doing in work or business or career that aren't working as well. And I don't think this is a bad thing, by the way. I feel like we're being led to things that are like much, much better than we've ever had in the past. So we need to realize that. But you have this Bobcat spirit. It says life is a mystery on it. So again, I feel like you've been experiencing some mysteries in your life about like things, mostly how things work. That's what is popping into my head for you intuitively. I'm not getting any like traditional things popping into my head for you, which is interesting. But like I said, I feel like there have been a lot of mysteries that you have been experiencing. You have the Chariot, the Page of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. I mean, teamwork makes the dream work here, Capricorn, as I've been saying. So if you're stuck anywhere in your life, I feel like teamwork could be extremely beneficial for you, as always. I also feel that, here's the thing about the Three of Pentacles. Sometimes I feel like these two people, it's almost like a comparing energy. Like, it's almost like she's saying to this guy over here, like, look at the work that he's done. So I kind of feel that for you on this card, if you are comparing your success to other people in any area of your life, I feel like you need to realize that it's not your life. That you know what I mean? It's like your journey is your journey. I feel like it's not going to be like anyone else's. And that could also be leading to a little bit of this like lost in space card feeling, where you feel like you're going the wrong direction just because maybe other people have done things differently. See, the thing is that you have the Chariot, which is actually a lot of success. Chariot, well, I don't know why it's freaking out, but let's see if we can fix that. Chariot is a victory and success. Even in your first diagonal, you have the Chariot, the Justice card to the Six of Wands, which is like excellence, success, good news, good things coming in for you. So I feel that there's a lot of success coming in for you here. If it wants to focus. But I feel like you need to realize that you're on your own journey. You're going to get there in your own way. Next, you have the Page of Cups. It's definitely something you've been dreaming of. I do feel there could be love here. But again, I feel like love is in the background. It's kind of interesting because pretty much every single reading I've done so far for this quarter, it's like love is there, but it's kind of like in the background. So I feel like people are kind of focused on other things at this time during this quarter. And definitely the end of the year is much better for love anyway. And I feel like 2023, going into 2023 is pretty good for love as well. So, it makes perfect sense to me. But, what I would say is that I feel like you're focused on the dream. You can see how he's really focused on that fish that's in that cup. The fish in the cup kind of represents his dream. It's part of his imagination, something that might not even be real. And so I feel a lot of you could be kind of manifesting a dream here. You have this Wonders card, and this card to me says, it kind of reminds me of like an iceberg, It's like there's more hidden below the surface on the card. So I feel like for a lot of you that there's kind of like more, and literally that's the word that's popping into my head on this card. If you're feeling lost, this card that says needing direction, your answer is pretty simple, actually. Your center card here, we're going to talk about this, is the Justice card. You also have the Eight of Pentacles here. Both cards together, to me, kind of say two things. Number one, you should be experimenting and putting a little bit of energy. Let's say you're wanting to start a business and you're like lost and you're not sure what to do. Both these cards together would say put a little energy in, find something that works. Once you find something that works, put more energy into it, right? Keep working on it. Justice is cause and effect. It says if you find something that works, keep doing it until it stops working, then try something else. Or maybe it doesn't stop working. The Eight of Pentacles, I feel, is talking about like more. Like I said, with this card, I was getting the word more popping into my head. And I feel like it's saying if you want to find success in whatever it is that you're working on or whatever you're dreaming of with the Page of Cups, I feel like you need to like put more energy into it, or there's more to learn, and the universe wants you to kind of not just scratch the surface. I feel like the universe wants you to kind of go all the way here. You have the Two of Cups, the Justice card, and the Eight of Pentacles. I do feel there could be love coming in for you. For those of you that want love, this could be a person that's entering into your life here. For others, I kind of feel like this is you and your higher self. I always say that, this card can be you and your higher self. This between them is the Staff of Hermes, and it represents communication. So I do feel a lot of you could be receiving communication from your higher self, and this could be in your dreams and your daydreams. It could be, just signs and symbols that you're seeing when you're out and about and things like that. So I would be paying attention to those messages that you're receiving. You also have the Justice card, which is balance. Like I said, justice is also cause and effect. It says if you put energy into something and you receive energy back, then keep moving in that direction. It's like, people always tell me they're worried about love, and I always say justice, like put a little energy into the relationship, wait for the person to return energy, then you're never giving too much because you're always matching their energy. And if at any point I always tell people as well, it's like sometimes maybe you want to put more energy in and they don't want to match that energy, then maybe that's your answer. Maybe it's time to, go find someone new, right? But at least you know. So I kind of feel that on this card. And sorry, I just realized that hopefully my microphone wasn't too far off there, but I would pay attention to that whole cause and effect thing with this Justice card. One thing I will say is you have the Chariot to the Justice card, again to the Six of Wands. If you're dealing with anything legal involving a car, this could literally be justice coming in a legal situation involving a car, or vehicle, or something like that. Some of you, I feel like, are having to take legal action against something involving a vehicle or a car. And again, I feel like this would be, justice coming in because of that. Next, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, Eight of Pentacles, I don't know why this won't focus all of a sudden. It was working perfectly fine on everybody else's reading, but now on yours, it doesn't want to focus, right? And I was saying that the whole direction thing, needing a direction, which is kind of like focus. Eight of Pentacles, he's focused on one thing. He is just working on those pentacles. I feel it would kind of be, I am getting that feeling for you that it would be a great time if you're like thinking about doing like a sprint, like they call it in work, where you just like work on one thing for a dedicated period of time. So if you are doing anything like that in career or work, or maybe you're like working on a project, if you're like giving it a dedicated amount of time, it's popping to my head that that'll be very successful for you with the Eight of Pentacles. I also just feel direct results. And again, you're like the second sign that has had this message this month, or for these next 3 months, that I kind of feel like what you put in is, it's going to be very much, like very direct. Like what you put in is exactly what you're going to get out of all situations in your life. This includes like work, business, love, pretty much everything. So I feel like you're going to be seeing kind of like direct results, which is very nice. Next, you have this Lost in Space card. It says needing direction. Like I said, I feel maybe you're needing some direction. For some of you, for pretty much all of you, again, justice, I would focus on the cause and effect thing. For others, I kind of feel that this is encouraging you to just make a choice. I don't feel it's so much about being lost as it is just having too many options and just needing to pick something and needing to stick with it and see it through to the end and just figure out how it works. So, like if you're thinking about, maybe you're thinking about like starting a YouTube channel, but you're thinking about a million different videos that you could create. I feel like this is saying, pick one thing, stick to it, see what happens, and then go from there. And that'll probably lead to a lot of direction. You have the Seven of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, and I feel like some of you could be dealing with that. Here's the thing, is that you have Three of Pentacles to the Justice card to this Seven of Swords. That tells me that you could be receiving justice if someone lied, cheated, or stole from you in the past, or if there's been some, weirdness going on there. The other thing is that the Seven of Swords kind of represents doing things differently. He is taking those swords from an army that is in the background here of the card. And again, it kind of represents going to war, but in a different way. He's not clashing head on with the army. He's stealing the swords, so they can't be used against him. So I kind of feel that, again, where it's almost saying, that there are different ways that you could be doing things, all things in your life. And I would just stay open to the different ways of doing things here. You have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a card of going on an adventure. Part of me feels that the universe is encouraging you to go on an adventure. It's like sometimes when I think when we feel lost, it's like the universe is like, no, you're not lost, but you are on a path of discovery. Like maybe you feel lost, but really the universe is trying to get you to have experiences, right? And so maybe you're feeling stuck or like you're lacking direction, but really the universe is trying to get you to mix it up, to try different things, to come up with some of those innovative, crazier ideas. And that could be the thing that leads to a lot of success for you. And here you go. You have a lot of success. Six of Wands, card of excellence, card of growth, success, card of like kind of being successful just in general. So let's see where this is going for you here, Capricorn, and that'll be that. With the Chariot, you have the Devil, you, showing up in a very strong position. So, again, whenever you show up as yourself, especially on a card like the Chariot, there is a lot of success. That to me puts you in a really strong position. And so I really feel you're kind of in control in this reading. With the Page of Cups, you have the Death card. Some of you could have a Scorpio coming in. I'm pretty sure in one of your last readings you had a Scorpio showing up for love. So it could be a Scorpio or just someone with Scorpio on their chart. The other thing that I would say to you is that if you're attracting love into your life, I feel like you're attracting someone who's going through transformation. What's interesting is that I feel like you're both going through transformation. And here's what I mean by that. It's like you could be moving somewhere. You could also be meeting a person who has also just moved to wherever you are, right? You could be changing jobs and you could be meeting a person who has also changed jobs. I kind of get like the two of you have the same story. Intuitively, those are the words that are popping into my head here. So that kind of tells me that you could be meeting a person who is going through a very similar thing that you are, and that's maybe how you connect as far as love is concerned. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Again, I feel like you need to realize that your story is not going to be like anyone else's. Nine of Swords is being a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. It's like having a nightmare, waking up and still having a nightmare. And the Three of Pentacles, like I said, I get that comparing energy. I feel like if you're comparing yourself to other people right now, Capricorn, for the next 3 months, then it could make you miserable, literally. And again, I always say you're not watching tarot to, people always say that, like, I'm too positive, right? And I'm always like, well, tarot isn't positive or negative. You have a choice on how you deal with the energy. Tarot is just energy. It's just saying this is what you're dealing with. And again, it's not a prison sentence, so it's not like, oh, this is bad, you're screwed. It's more like, oh, you have a choice whether to compare yourself to other people, be miserable, or to realize that you're on a different journey and then you can fix it. And that's what's going on here, I feel. With the the Two of Cups, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, really good. Definitely could be a soulmate coming in for you. I don't personally read the Six of Cups as going back to the past. I know a lot of readers do, but in most books, by the way, if you read about the Six of Cups, it says, do not go back to the past. Even, like, I think of, like, the Golden Tarot, for example. In the book for the Golden Tarot, they talk all about not going back to the past, not getting stuck in nostalgia. Don't get stuck in the past, basically. And so for a lot of you, I just feel like this is a soulmate. Six of Cups is a soulmate energy. Two of Cups, soulmates. You could be attracting a soulmate at this time, but again, for most people, I would say love is there. It's available to you, but it's kind of like in the background, if that makes sense, where, I feel like you have to go look for it if you want it. It's there, but you're going to have to go find it. And if you don't, then it's not going to magically appear in your life. The other thing is that the Six of Cups to me represents kind of like a turnaround energy where you could have been bumping up against obstacles trying to move forward for a long time. And this could represent a period of time where you can finally move forward. With the Justice card, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is really good. Queen of Cups is a card for you that I feel like is talking about kind of like kind, caring, nurturing energy. I almost get more like protection vibes. Some people do read her as a card of protection. I personally don't, but what I will say is I do feel that this could be more talking about you being protected or receiving some protection, which is nice. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like you are working really hard over the next 3 months. This changes everything. Getting the Two of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles. I like this because to me this says your hard work is paying off. So as long as you realize that, you know, if you're working on a business, I feel like as long as you say to yourself, it's not going to go how it went for my friend, it's not going to go how it went for this person, but I'm going to work really hard and I'm going to make it work, then it's going to work. That's what this reading is saying to me, as long as you're not comparing yourself. But what I will say is, again, I feel like your hard work is really paying off. That Two of Pentacles, also the Seven of Pentacles, both say to me that you need to make sure that you're also doing other things that you enjoy. He has polka dots on his cloak. The polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have more fun. They are kind of cards that can, you know, the polka dots on this card, but also it's polka dots on the Three of Pentacles as well in the same diagonal, by the way. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously and, again, needing to have more fun in life, so I'd make sure you're having fun with those cards. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Again, too many burdens, right? Carrying a heavy burden. I would make sure that you're doing things to blow off steam, right? I would make sure you're enjoying some hobbies, some fun time, make sure you're socializing and all those other things, because, again, I feel like that's going to be balancing out the energy. With the Page of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords, a victory coming in for you. So major victories coming in for you. A lot of success coming in for you as well. So I like to see that. With the Six of Wands, you have the Ace of Cups. There you go. So your emotions overflowing, being really happy. Definitely could be a love coming in for you here, Capricorn, if you're looking for love. So I like to see that. But two aces to me is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered. But I feel like this reading is very simple. All pretty much, it's kind of interesting because normally when I do these 3-month readings, they're very complex. There's a lot going on. But for most of these, they have been very similar. I mean, not similar, but they've been similar in the sense that they've all been very, very easy. It's like there's pretty much only been one thing that everybody needs to focus on, but it's different for everybody. But for you, it's kind of like hard work, and I just feel like your hard work is paying off. I love it. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.